London, can you hear us? Very good. Okay, back on the record, in the people of the state of Michigan versus Bearden, Fascinello, Haggard, Henry, Lundgren, and Maddock. I believe all the councils are present. Can I have your appearance, please?
Good afternoon, LaDonna Logan on behalf of the people.
Kayla Crano, appearing on behalf of the people. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mary Chartier on behalf of John Haggard, who's seated to my right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kurt E. Cross on behalf of Mr. Haggard, who's seated to my right.
Good afternoon, Nicholas Somberg on behalf of Michonne Maddow.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. George Brown on behalf of Marion Henry, who sits to my right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Dwayne Silva on behalf of Michelle Unwin, who is appearing on Zoom via Zoom.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. George Delaney appearing on behalf of Kathleen Burton, who is in the courtroom.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jerry Clover on behalf of Kathy Burton.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Paul Staplin appearing on behalf and with Ms. Fascinello, who is seated behind me.
Okay, you can take your seats, and we were continuing with the prosecution witnesses. Who is your next witness?
And at this time, the people will call Mr. Troy Hudson.
Okay, and are you his counsel?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Brendan DeSiga on behalf of Mr. Troy Hudson.
Okay, you can either stay there or you can have a seat here.
I'll sneak over there if I may.
Okay, Ms. Hudson, I just need you to stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. You can have a seat.
Thank you.
Okay, please state your first and last name, spell both of them.
Troy Hudson, TroyHudson.
You can proceed, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. In December of 2020, where did you work?
At the Michigan Republic.
Excuse-
I'm gonna
say
ask
that
you
again.
your voice up.
Okay, sorry.
Could you repeat your
Yeah, at
answer?
the Michigan Republican Party.
And how long had you worked for the Michigan Republican Party?
Just short of 2 years.
And in December of 2020, what was your assignment? What was your title?
I was the political director.
And what does a political director do?
Different things, different days. But largely I did, I worked with the grassroots, volunteers, I worked with precinct delegates, local and state campaigns.
Now, December of 2020, you would agree that's following a national presidential election, is that correct?
Correct.
And do you recall any meetings or conversations about gathering the Republican slate of electors?
I remember that we were having a meeting.
Okay. Do you remember when those conversations, I guess, began?
No, I don't.
Do you remember who was involved in those conversations?
Specifically, no. I know that it would probably be been myself and Laura Cox and then others.
And would these be meetings in person, by phone,
At
virtual?
this time, probably by phone, because we had a COVID outbreak in the office, so we didn't do a whole lot of work in the office.
Okay. So, are you able to tell us where was this meeting supposed to take place?
At the Michigan Republican Party.
And where is that located?
Seymour Street, not far from here.
Is that in the city of Lansing?
Yes.
And when was it supposed to take place?
I don't know the specific date.
Who was supposed to attend this meeting?
We'd invited the electors, who were selected from their specific districts.
And so that would be all 16 for the Republican slate?
I think we invited all 16, correct?
Okay. Just remember to try and keep your voice up.
Sorry.
Your Honor, excuse me, Matt, I just have an objection. When there's a term like "we," I would ask that it be clarified as to who he's referring to. Thank you.
That's his name.
question I asked, but I believe it was,
We invited.
when you said we invited, could you, be more specific as to who we is?
I don't know who called all the electors. I can't recall, but Laura Cox asked the electors to come to the Michigan Republic.
Do you recall what the purpose was for this meeting?
It was to honor them for having been selected. It's a pretty rare thing to get that selection. And that's the thing.
And were you present for the meeting of the electors?
Portions of it, yeah.
Now, when you say you were, present for portions of it, were you there for when the meeting started?
Well, I guess can I clarify which meeting are you talking about? Because I think that there were two meetings.
The first meeting.
Okay. I don't know if I was there when it started.
Okay. What time did you arrive at the Republican headquarters?
Early that morning.
And, if I said the meeting was on December 14th, would you have any reason to dispute that?
I don't.
When you arrived at the Republican headquarters, was there anybody else there?
There could have been. I'm usually not the first person there.
And were there any, Republican electors there?
I don't think anybody was there yet.
Did you do anything to prepare the location for the meeting?
Yes.
What did you do?
So we set up in the basement of the Republican Party. There's not a conference room, but kind of a larger gathering room. We set up some tables and chairs with the coffee and donuts, things like that.
And were you aware of what time the Republican slate of electors were supposed to appear for this meeting?
I don't remember.
Did you know anything about a document that was supposed to be presented during this meeting?
Yes.
Tell me about the document that you know of.
One that I know of was saying essentially if President Trump and Vice President Pence had won, the electors had met in Lansing on this day, and we would have supported him.
Permission to approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm gonna hand you what has been admitted as People's Exhibit 8. Would you take a look at that and let me know if you recognize that document?
This looks like the one I'm referring to, without reading every word. Yeah.
So, People's Exhibit 8 is a document that you just described to us, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when I asked you if you knew of any documents that would be circulated, I'll take that back. During the meeting, you said the document that I know of, is there another document?
I later became aware that there was, yes.
Okay, but you were not aware of that on December 14th?
Not until later that evening or afternoon.
Now, to your knowledge, were all 16 electors present at the meeting?
No.
Do you know which electors were not present at the meeting?
There were two, Terry Land and I'm blanking on the other gentleman's name.
Does anybody have an objection if I suggest that it is Gerald Wall?
Yes, Jerry Wall.
Not you.
Yes, Jerry Wall.
No objection, no objection.
I think we could all stipulate that the other absent elector was Gerald Wall. I just want to make sure no council objected. Was there anyone present at this meeting other than the 14 Republican slate of electors?
Yes, two other folks came in their place.
Did you know who those two people were?
One I had met before, and the other was Ken Thompson.
Now, other than those 16 people, was anyone else in attendance at this meeting?
There were other people who didn't work for the Michigan Republican Party, but rather the Trump campaign.
Okay. Now, were there people from the Michigan Republican Party?
Yes.
Who was there?
To the best of my knowledge, myself, Henrietta Toe, Mike Ambrosini, and Tony Zammit. I think that was it.
And did you know the people who were present at the meeting for the Trump campaign?
I only recall one of them, but I know that there were multiple. couple other people there.
Okay, and, who was the person that you do recall?
I remember Sean Flynn was there.
Now, were they just in the building, or were they in the basement as part of the meeting?
I don't recall them being in the basement. They may have been.
Now, at what point do you go into the basement?
Like I said, I was there to set up, so early, in terms of during the meeting,
Yes.
what you're asking. I was going back and forth, cause we had things going on upstairs, and other people who, had also shown up who were trying to get in. I was assessing that situation, and, you know, ensuring that they were not allowed in, and then,
Okay.
going downstairs.
I'm gonna stop you there. Was there a restriction on attendance?
Yes.
Could you tell us about that?
So like I said, we've recently had a number of employees have COVID that work there, so we restricted it to just the electors, and then a couple of staff.
And do you remember, who was trying to get in that you were, keeping from entering the meeting? Or the building?
Their names, I don't know if I know all of their names, I don't remember.
Do you remember any of the names?
I know that Matt Maddock was there, he had shown up with, his wife Sean, and I know that there was others, there was a group at a camera.
And is it your testimony that Representative Maddock and the camera crew were denied entry?
Yes, yeah, we did not allow it.
Now, going back to the meeting that was held in the basement, do you recall, if the meeting was in progress when you went into the basement, or were you there for the start of the
I don't
meeting?
think I was there for the start, so it's probably already in progress.
Okay, so when you go down to the basement and the meeting's in progress, what's happening at that point?
I mean, nothing specific, I think people are kinda just milling around, it's nothing like, formal.
Is there a point when that changes?
Not where I was present, no.
And how often did you leave the basement?
I was going back and forth through it.
Were you present in the basement when the meeting ended?
I may have been.